we're a few hours away from the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announcing the interim budget in the Parliament today. And here's what to expect ahead of the Finance Minister's speech. First up, an increase in allocation towards subsidies. Now, particularly the food subsidy could see a rise considering that the NFSA-led PMGKY Act has been extended, as the Prime Minister announced, for the next 5 years. So this will be figured in the outlay already. We are also seeing that the petroleum subsidy could be increased, considering that 200 rupees per cylinder was increased for Ujjwala beneficiaries in October 2023. Fertilizer subsidy, however, may not be increased as much, might retain the similar allocation as FY24, or rather even lesser, considering that the global fertilizer prices have simmered and not a lot of volatility is expected in FY25. But there's also one of the most anticipated ones, which is, of course, the tax-related incentives. Whether the government will be adding some more sweeteners to increase the adoption of the new tax regime is something to be watched out for. Of course, currently, those with the income levels of up to 7.5 lakhs do not have to pay income tax. There's also a standard deduction in place. Whether the standard deduction would raise or perhaps the limit would be altered to make the scheme sweeter is something that we'll have to watch out for. Talking about schemes, of course, the PM Suryodaya Yojana. Now, if you remember, the Prime Minister had promised 10 million household solar connections, solar rooftop connections to be sure, and this would, of course, have to be figured in this year's outlay. Despite it being the interim budget, there's also expectation that the FAME 3 scheme might see a renewed outlay, considering that the government's push for renewable and clean energy, EV vehicles might get that push. That is the expectations that we're hearing so far. Back to you.